Finally, we can drive down and get a pod on. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Gonz Sports Talk pregame show. Oh my goodness, I am not having a good hair day. Welcome back to another Gonz Sports Talk pregame show, previewing Ravens versus Rams Sunday afternoon football. Gonz, how you doing on this Friday night?
I'm doing pretty well. Are we okay with the technology?
I think we're good. It was acting up. I meant to go live way earlier, people. It's just like I kept getting like technical issues, and then we couldn't get the live going. We're good, though. We are live. We are ready to talk
Wonderful.
Ravens football.
Can we talk a little bit about that game last night, though? Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable.
Steelers lose in terrible
They
fashion.
are abysmal. And I've said this before. If the other team doesn't give the game away, and boy, the Patriots did try to give that game away, but the
They were
Steelers
stuck at 21 for a minute, too.
The Steelers just refused to take it. They out-Steelered themselves. The other team was giving them the game, and they just didn't want it. They just didn't want it. They kept pushing it. Here you go. Here you go. Here's the dub right here on a silver platter. Pittsburgh, no, I don't want it. I promise you I don't want it. I promise you don't want it.
We're good.
And that marks the first team in NFL history to lose back-to-back games with a winning record to a team that is 2-10. That is unbelievable. And at home, so they had two matchups in 4 days. Home matchups against two of the top three worst teams in the NFL. And they got shellacked in both of them. You love to see it.
Listen, man, every time these past two games, I've just been sitting here and I'm like, how in the shiznoots did we lose to this team?
Because we dropped 9 passes. That's why.
Like, bro, that game should have been a blowout.
They're getting exposed right now.
If we don't blow them out week 18, I'm calling the police. Actually, forget the police. I'm calling the FBI. If we don't blow them out.
They can do whatever they want to us. I just want to win the freaking Super Bowl. That's all I care about. We might be resting players, Dom. We could have a 1 seed by then. Or a playoff. You're
probably right. I wouldn't mind that. But if Huntley comes in and hands the Steelers an L to finish the season, I wouldn't mind that either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of hope that's the case. I would love for us to be resting starters at that point of the year, since we would have everything pretty much tick and night, pretty much everything in a row, basically, as far as the 1 seed.
But, shout out to Bailey Zappi for channeling Tom Brady.
Man. Shout out to Zeke. He had a heck of a game last night. Yeah. Over 140 total yards, a receiving touchdown. Like, he going great. He went crazy for my fantasy team. 27 points. Shout out to Zeke.
70 receiving yards and about 60 or so yards on the ground.
68, I think 68 rushing yards. So he was doing his thing on both ends, receiving and rushing. So he was giving the Steelers a mouthful of Zeke yesterday. Hunter Henry, 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry it was his birthday yesterday too. Shout out to Hunter. And that was funny. You get roasted by Hunter Henry and Bailey Zappi. Steelers fans aren't bouncing back from this one. It's just the reality of the situation.
And now they have a 10-day break where they get to sulk on these 2 terrible home losses, and then they're back in action on Saturday against the Colts in a massive matchup with playoff implications. So, whatever. Mike Tomlin, that room is a mess. And
yeah, I don't know.
Locker room is a mess.
We discussed it. We discussed it with AG. We sat there and said, what needs to change? And we were used to Tomlin being able to control the locker room. I don't know. Maybe they're just not in it anymore. They don't believe in the Tomlin system, maybe.
Well, they were winning off BS ways, and now it's finally starting to catch up with them. They are not better than all these teams in the league. They deserve to hang with the bottom dwellers. They don't play. Their offense is terrible.
Yeah.
Whether you want to believe it or not, I'm going to have to say Pickett is the better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky. I've always felt that way, and I know AG was excited about Trubisky taking some shots down the field. He just is so careless with the ball. It's not even funny. And it's just he just doesn't see the field. And now with Pickett being out, I just don't see them. I don't see them winning that many more games. And I know Pickett's not good either. We've established that.
We've established
but
that.
At least he makes the plays at the end when he needs to, for the most part. So yeah, their season's done because they have Mitch Trubisky. They might even start Rudolph. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're in shambles, and there's nothing I like better than to see Pittsburgh in shambles. So keep it up. Keep it up.
Hey, man, that just widens our gap to get the 1 seed. So I think our 1 seed percentage went from like 40-something to about 80-something, like 87% chance of getting the 1 seed. So shout out to the Patriots. I believe it was that high. I don't know. That's according to reports. I saw it on Twitter from a reporter dude. I forgot his name, but apparently I think we're at like
you talking about the division or the 1 seed?
I think it was for the 1 seed. But I feel like the division is pretty much in wraps right now. Well, no, because we got about 5 games.
Well, we still got the Browns on our heels. They're at 7-5. If they take an L on Sunday to the Jags and then we win, that will put us up 3 games with 4 games to go. So that will be looking very good for us. But we really got to take care of business now, especially with Pittsburgh losing. This would be a huge game, huge opportunity to separate ourselves with a victory over the Rams.
AG, what happened yesterday, man? What happened yesterday? Go Jags, go
Poor AG. Yep.
Bro, what happened? Like, I almost want to invite you into the live just to talk about what happened. Oh my goodness.
AG, he sent me a picture yesterday. He started driving somewhere at halftime. He stopped watching the game. Because he just said, I don't watch piss poor performances. That's what he said. Well, and that's fair enough. Fair enough. Man.
Oh goodness!
You just thought I really thought the Steelers were going to win that game though in the second half because the Patriots. They were given so many chances to win.
Yeah, they were letting them hang around just like we did.
Yeah.
I thought the Steelers were going to try to come back, do some miraculous fourth quarter cheese, take the dub, but
if they had Pickett, they probably would have snuck that one out.
Maybe Pickett might get them the dub in that regard because he's been pretty good in fourth quarters. As much as I don't want to admit it, he's pretty decent in fourth quarters.
He's still a bad QB.
He's a bad quarterback. I still don't agree that he's a top-tier quarterback, but in fourth quarters, he's been kind of clutch when they needed him to be. In some scenarios, he's been kind of clutch.
Yeah.
So I got to give credit where credit's due at the end of the day with that. But, yeah, man, devastating loss. But we're not going to sulk on misery because we got Ravens to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. So before we dive into our thoughts into this game, let's talk about who's not going to be on the field. Well, actually, looking at the report, it's looking like everybody's almost going to be on the field for the most part.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gonz, what are we looking at here?
The Ravens are extremely healthy right now, which is absolutely insane. In a good way.
In a great way. Not jinxing anything.
So on Wednesday, we had only one person miss practice, and that was Rashad Bateman for an illness. Thursday, he returned, but then Lamar was missing, and everyone in Baltimore was scared to death because they didn't say anything about it until a couple hours later when it came out that he is also dealing with an illness. So thank goodness it wasn't an injury. We all took a sigh of relief. And then later today, we got the report that he's going to suit up and give it a go on Sunday. So we have got an extremely healthy team right now. Everybody on the injury report for the Ravens, Rashad Bateman, Matabike, Malik Ham, Marlon Humphrey, Trenton Simpson, Pepe Williams, shout out to him being activated, Lamar Jackson, full practice participants today, and they should be good to go. Matabike, no game status. Marlon Humphrey, no game status. Lamar, no game status. Odell Beckham had a rest day, no game status. So this team is healthy, and it's December the 10th, or today's the 8th, December the 8th. The game is on the 10th, and there's only three people questionable, and that is Malik Harrison, Pepe Williams, since he's still, coming off injured reserve, and Malik Ham. So all these other guys, that means Marlo, Ronnie, those guys who were injured going into the bye week are good to go. So let's go, Ravens. Let's get it done.
Great. It's great to see Malik Ham practicing all week.
Now,
I was waiting for him to come back.
yes. Now,
Yeah.
going over to the Rams side, one key thing that I noticed, and I haven't been paying attention to the Rams injury report, starting tight end Tyler Higbee has missed practice all week and is listed as doubtful for the game on Sunday. So that could be pretty big. I don't know the backup tight ends for the Rams. I'm unfamiliar, but I know Tyler Higbee is, at least used to be, one of Stafford's go-to targets, and even Jared Goff's go-to targets back on when he was a Ram. I know Tyler Higbee can make plays. So that might be a problem for them. So a little bit easier day maybe for Kyle Hamilton covering the tight end, as there's a good chance that he won't have to defend Tyler Higbee at all on Sunday. Everyone else is good to go. Puka Nacua, who dealing with that shoulder injury, was limited Wednesday, but he's good to go. Not designated to injury. Cooper Kupp's not even on the report. Aaron Donald had a rest day. Brian Allen had a rest day on the offensive line. And the Rams are relatively healthy as well. Yeah, you've got some people dealing with some injuries, but they're all going to play. So we'll see them. It should be a pretty fair fight. This is going to be a super interesting matchup, and I really hope the Ravens pull it out. Mind you, it is supposed to rain a little bit as well. So hopefully that could work to the Ravens' favor. I might see a heavy dose of Gus the Bus and Keaton Mitchell. So anyway, we'll see. That's about it for the injuries. Looking good for both teams.
It is really great to see us like this healthy this late into the season.
Knock on wood right now.
Knock it on glass.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see. First of all, like I said earlier, it's great to see Malik Ham back. He had a really good preseason, so it's nice to see that he's recovered well, and I guess judging by the fact that he was questionable, I feel like he'll still be good to go regardless if they do decide to play him out there. So that's nice to see. Lamar wanted to give everybody a heart attack midweek. That's just what he likes to do. Likes to give people heart attacks midweek. Great to see him back on the field this on Friday for recovering from that illness. I think he got it from Bateman. I know Bateman was sick earlier in the week also due to that illness, so I'm glad he's back. But yeah, everybody looks good to go. I would like to see how Marlowe shapes in back into the lineup. He's been kind of in and out of the lineup all year, so it was just kind of unusual for him. So I'm hoping that we get a good dose of Marlowe on Sunday. I feel like he's probably going to be the one on Kupp. If not Kupp, maybe Puka, because Stevens has been guarding a lot of wide receiver ones in these past couple of weeks. So if it's Stevens on Kupp and Marlowe on Puka, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, it looks like this is going to be a pretty even fight on Sunday afternoon. I'm just hoping it's a fight we win. Going into Sunday.
Agreed. I think we can go ahead and start with the toughest task that the Ravens will face, and that's defending this Rams offense. And all of a sudden, a pretty hot Stafford. This team has won 3 games in a row after starting 3-6. Matthew Stafford was out during that losing streak when they lost a couple. They had to go with Brett Rippon a couple times. And now, since Stafford has returned to the lineup, their offense has improved dramatically. And Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp are tearing it up. They made that Browns defense look not very good. Looked pretty pedestrian last week. And Stafford sacked 0 times. So this O-line has been balling out. And I understand Myles Garrett was dealing with some injuries, and he might not be full strength, but they locked him down last week. He didn't do much of anything, which was pretty unbelievable. A pass rush like Cleveland's not getting home once. I mean, Stafford had a lot of time for most of his throws. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, getting pressure on Stafford. If we can get to him, AG, I don't care. They're playing well. I mean, they just put up 34 on Cleveland's defense. We got to take them seriously, especially to capitalize on y'all's blunder on Thursday. That should serve some extra fuel for the Ravens to get the sub.
That was a low blow, and you know it.
I mean, it's true. It was a blunder. They should not have won. They should not have lost that game, Dom. That was an auto win for the Steelers, and they blew it. I blew it.
An auto win.
Yeah, it should. The last two games should have been auto wins. But anyway, back to this game. Yeah, rattle Stafford. He's not super mobile. Not super mobile. He can move around. He can extend the plays in the pocket, but he's not going to be scrambling for 20 yards that much. Hopefully not. So if we can get to him, I need a good game from Owe. I need a good game from Clowney. Matabike in the middle, crumble the pocket from the middle. That is really good on non-mobile quarterbacks because they can't scramble outside. And then if they try to, we can get them by the feet with Owe. And that's the biggest moment for me in this game is to just rush the passer. Everything else will be fine, I think. And I know they've got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, but I feel like if we can control the line of scrimmage on defense, he won't have the time to get it down the field. And on top of that, if the rain has an impact, that Rams aerial tech might struggle a little bit. So if we can control the line of scrimmage with our Pro Bowl pass rushers this year, and yes, we have a couple guys up in the first place voting for the Pro Bowl, mind you, I think we can have a successful day on defense and get this dub.
I agree. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but there's also another key point that I feel like you missed here. Stafford under duress has been known to make mistakes. He's been like a top interception guy for a while now because I mean he's a gunslinger. He likes to throw the ball. He likes to throw it wherever he needs it to go. So I think like you said, the pressure is key, but our secondary is gonna get tested. I mean, the run game they have Kyron Williams, who has been really good this year, ever since they traded away or released Cam Akers. So at this point, Kyron stepped in. He's been playing great. But at the same time, what the Rams identity has been since Stafford has taken the helm, I mean, they've been a passing team. Cooper Kupp has been going absolutely bonkers since Stafford has been. Not saying he hasn't been going bonkers when Goff was there, but ever since Stafford's been there, Kupp has been absolutely insane. And that just speaks to his ability of being a great, at least a top 5 receiver in our league when healthy. But at the same time, if we get to Stafford and force Stafford to be uncomfortable, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to throw right to our DBs. He's going to throw right to Stone. He's going to throw right to Mark. Like, force him to be uncomfortable and try to capitalize on those mistakes because Stafford is a vet, so he's not going to make many. Like, he knows what he's doing. So, but at the same time, let's force him to make those bad throws. Also, and let's try to limit Kyron because, again, he's somebody who's been, again, electric all year. So let's try to limit that as well. I don't want to completely leave him out of the equation. Without Higbee, who has been a reliable target for Stafford, I think it limits him a little bit. But then when you have the rookie sensation, Puka, who's been going crazy this year, you can still got 2 wideouts who can make it happen at any point. So force Stafford to be uncomfortable. Get pressure back there. Owe, Clowney, Van Noy. Get back there. Force Stafford in uncomfortable situations, and we should be just fine, I think. I feel like last year, it wasn't last year, maybe 2 years ago when we played the Rams with Stafford. I mean, at that point there, I mean, the game was right there. We had Huntley. So, I mean, we were right there to almost win that game until Odell.
That was the Super Bowl champion Rams, too, mind you.
Yeah, it was Super Bowl champion. It was Super Bowl champion Rams. We were right there winning that game with Tyler Huntley. Mm-hmm. Until Odell Beckham, which is hilarious enough to say, crushed our spirits and pretty much sealed it for him. So, I mean, I think this is an opponent that I feel like this is just like the Seahawks game. This is another team that can get hot offensively with a game record also on the defensive side of the ball. And we just have to make sure that we're alert to everything because they're not going to just give us the game. This is another one we're going to have to earn, and this is another opponent we're going to have to sleep on. So offensively, just like you said, let's get pressure on Stafford, force him into those uncomfortable situations, and try to get him to throw some picks, and let's get some turnovers.
Well, that just adds fuel to what I was saying pretty much.
Yeah,
dominate the line of scrimmage, get pressure on him, and then to your point, if he's one of the most mistake-prone quarterbacks in the NFL, then let's capitalize on that. Get him under pressure and he'll make mistakes. Yeah. He'll fumble, too. I've seen him cough up the ball a little bit. well, I don't know, maybe not recently, but I remember Stafford getting hit and dropping the
And
football
coughing it up. He
on
probably
sack.
has.
So if we could do that, especially in the rain, that'd be nice. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. But I'm hoping this defense can stay true to what they do. Linebackers, stuff the run, Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, stop Kyron Williams, make them one-dimensional, and crank up the heat, and you should be fine. And by the way, I do want to test Marcus Williams, who played 100% of the defensive snaps against the Chargers, is looking a little bit better. Few weeks consistently, but at least before the bye, he's been making some nice pass breakups. So see him rounding into form a little bit. That would be awesome as we approach the home stretch here. So, yeah, maybe we get a Marcus Williams interception because he's been close to getting a couple.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a worry ever since with the shoulder, but ever since
He's
then,
been
I mean,
tackling
he's
a little
been,
bit more. He's gotten involved with hits now, so maybe he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable on that shoulder or that pec. So now if he can catch an interception, that'd be very nice.
that'll be good
Very
for confidence.
And
I'm seeing right here, Stafford is tied 44th with 178 interceptions throughout his career. He's tied 44th. So I mean, he throws some picks.
If you could look up the stat how he is under duress this year, that would be cool too. See if you could find that. So yeah, while Dom's looking that up, how about we transition to the offensive side of the ball for the Ravens, matching up with that Rams defense featuring Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl champion in 2021. So yeah, that they've got their work cut out for him. Tyler Linderbaum and is going to have a really nice game, okay? Because Aaron Donald, while he only has 6 sacks this year, not one of his most productive seasons, still has the ability to become a game wrecker, and we do not want that to happen. So, strong game from the guards and Tyler Linderbaum to keep him in check, and we should be good to go on that. I'm trying to think of other pass rushers that they have. I'm drawing a blank because they used to have Von Miller.
But he left for whatever reason.
Do they still have Leonard Floyd, or did they get rid of him?
I want to say they still have Leonard Floyd, but I'm going to look that up too, just to confirm.
I'll check the Rams depth chart real quick while you look up the Stafford. But yeah, while I look up their pass rushers, thinking about their secondary, it's not one of the greatest. So if we can keep Lamar upright, excuse me, we have a chance to really attack that defense. And here we go. We've got the defense. So, who do we got? Aaron Donald. Kobe Turner is the nose tackle. I don't know who that is. Jonah Williams. I'm not trying to sound disrespectful. I just don't know who some of these guys are. This must be in-house talent that they've got. Yeah, I'm not familiar with most of these guys. Taking a look at their secondary, Jordan Fuller. He is pretty solid. They're starting strong safety. Quentin Lake, questionable for the game. I'm not sure who that is either. Kobe Durant. That guy is the slot corner, and he's made a couple plays this year. They also do have John Johnson, who is sort of getting up there in age. But he's still on the team. He's listed as the second free safety in the depth chart. And Akello Witherspoon, the former Steeler. He also plays slot corner. So it looks like they've got a pretty young team on defense, aside from some of the vets like Aaron Donald and John Johnson. So this looks like an opportunity for this Ravens squad to really capitalize on offense. I believe their defensive rank is about middle of the pack. So, again, keep Lamar upright. Good, strong day from the tackles and the guard, just the whole O-line in general. Let me just stop breaking it down. Entire O-line, we need better pass blocking so we can pick apart this Rams secondary. And then that could either open up Gus Edwards or vice versa. Maybe we go start running the ball early, and that opens up the play action. But just control the game on the offensive line, and we should be good, I think.
Agreed. Yeah, Matthew Stafford has a 87.3 passer rating when he's under pressure.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. So, again, and that's where that's why I say that veteran mindset, because, he knows what to do. He's been at this for 16 years.
Okay,
like
so
about 15, 16 years. So he's not bad under pressure as much this season for the most part. But he's tied ninth in interceptions this year. I think he's thrown 9 so far. So he's still been throwing some picks now.
okay.
So I still think the same thing applies when it comes to Stafford. If we just force him to throw under duress with great coverage, Mike McDonald just scheme up some cheese, I think we should be fine.
Some cheese.
Yeah, scheme up some cheese. Like, he's been cheesing all year. Like Mike McDonald has been cheesing.
What is this, Madden?
But hey man, listen, like he's been blitzing Hamilton and dropping back. Did you remember the play when he dropped back Pierce in coverage?
Yeah.
Like Pierce dropped back like he's been doing some Madden cheese. Like he's been cheesing all year. So
I love the creativity though. Keep it up.
Getting creative. Like you have to give him respect. It's creative. Like who would think that big Michael Pierce, would drop back in coverage? Now I wouldn't even guess that. And he can do it too, like, which is the funny part. But yeah, I think it's just stick to the game plan of, I think offensively, I'm right there with you. Again, I have no disagreements on this part. I think Lamar is due for a good passing day. I think he's due for a good passing day. I mean, his stats this year, they haven't been terrible. Like, it's not like he's had under the moon stats. But he hasn't had that one game yet this year when it's been like, holy crap, he is letting this joint go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't had one of those spectacular performances yet. And I think this could be potentially the game to do so against this. Well, remember, a couple of years ago, he had the Jackson 5 against the Rams. So, I mean, could this be potentially like another Lamar Jackson spectacle? I'm hoping so. Because it's been a while since we've seen it. I mean, what has he had so far? I can name the past couple of game stats: 177 passing yards, 1 touchdown; 264 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. That wasn't really a bad day. That was against the Bengals. 223, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions against Cleveland in the loss. 187 yards, no touchdowns. That was against Seattle. I mean, no, was that against Seattle? Yeah, that was against Seattle. Yep. We had the win anyway. We blew them out, so it didn't really matter.
Lions game, he was pretty good.
357, 3 touchdowns. And then Cardinals, 157, 1 touchdown. I mean, other than that, you can only really look at 2 games here and be like, holy crap, he's had a day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel as though we're kind of due for another Lamar Jackson spectacle. So I think this could be the game to do that. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw him get some touchdown passes in here. Maybe 2 or 3, depending. But I think offensively, this is kind of the point where we pass it a little more. Let's try to get more comfortable in the pass game, and let's do more than some Zay Flower screens and some Odell Beckham Jr. slants. I mean, Odell excels at the slants. I'm not trying to say they're terrible, but let's see if we can take from this experience of the bye week and what the coaches have gone over since the Ravens have been out, since the players have been out. What did they emphasize during this time offensively? I think we're going to finally see that in this game on Sunday. What exactly did they emphasize? Are they trying to emphasize more passing? Will Lamar be maybe doing some more QB design runs? Not that they've been limited, because he has been running the ball in a couple of QB design plays. But, like, will we see more of that? What is the main focus now going into this later part of the season? And I think Sunday will be a great example of what the heck they went over, because when we get into the playoffs, we're going to have to be able to pass the ball. Mm-hmm. And I don't see us getting a win. I mean, we are getting wins, but I'm not seeing us, like, getting a lot of wins with Lamar throwing under 200 for every playoff game. Like, I feel as though we're going to have to be able to air the ball out with our dynamic weapons that we do have out here, and let's see what Lamar can do. I'm not saying let him loose, like just throw the ball all over the place, but I would like to see some more of what Todd Monken had in the ball, because I feel like we haven't fully seen that yet. So that's my thing.
I want to counter your argument, though. You can't do that unless you have a good offensive line. You really
agree.
If you're going to try to sling it up and down the field, you have to pass protect, or else it will be Zay Flower screens and slants all day long. because you just don't have the time in the pocket to go down the field. So, again, this is a week-to-week league. The Ravens have shown they could pass the ball effectively at times this year. I'm not super worried about Lamar's stats. I know he can throw the ball if needed. What I want to make sure is that they can still be a fluent offense without Mark Andrews, and continue the use of Isaiah Likely, and see how they can improve the offense a little bit without Mark Andrews. So I'm not really needing to see a 5-touchdown game, because let's be honest, it's not going to happen. Like this offense this year is not built like that. They're a balanced team that can attack you from both angles, right? 2019, they were just kind of doing whatever they wanted, I felt like, in the regular season. They were just able to run the ball, and then if they wanted to get a passing touchdown, they could draw it up. Like this year, I feel like they're trying to improve schematically and out-scheme their opponent in the red zone. They know they can run with Gus Edwards in the red zone, and that's what they've done. And Gus Edwards has 10 touchdowns, a career high this year. They're not trying to get cute. They're not going to try to get Lamar 50 passing touchdowns this season. I felt like in 2019, they kind of were doing that. They're like, okay, well, Lamar has 2 touchdowns. Can we get him to 4? All right, let's play action pass from the half-yard line. This year, they're not doing that. Like, Lamar's a veteran. He's already been an MVP. They know what he can do. They're just trying to win. Tough, grind the yards out, give it to Gus, let him score on the inch in the half-yard line, and put the game away. I don't think it matters about the big-time passing stats.
No, I agree. I'm not really worried
about
the stats. I'm not worried about the stats per se. I just think that, I just don't want us to become, now, mind you, I'm all great with just winning. I mean, I want us to win, and we have been getting the wins. We definitely have more wins than losses, so I love that. But it's just the fact that, again, when we look at these other offenses in the league, it's just that, what is that one thing? They're able to air it out at any point in time. Like, you see, like, even though the Lions, we crushed them. But when you look at the Lions, and then when you look at the Dolphins, and when, like, these other teams that can still, even though they can get exposed at any point in time, because they both have, we've done one of the exposes, but at that point, I just want us to be sure that offensively, that we're going through every single last play call that we can think of. I just don't want to limit Lamar to what he can do, because, like you said in your
let me
counter
that one more time. A couple weeks ago, Lamar said, I haven't hit my peak yet, or something.
That is true,
I forget
too.
how he phrased it. He said, I've been holding back. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
As we approach the playoffs, maybe they don't want to open up their playbook quite yet. Maybe they're still waiting for these gigantic, meaningful games. So if they can squeak out some more of these wins in the regular season and pass protect, and once we get to January, and then we fully open up the full textbook and really start diving in, then we can make something happen. Maybe
you're right. Maybe you're right. And I wouldn't be mad at that either.
I'm trying to spin it on the optimistic point of view. But I definitely see what you're saying. You want them to remind them that they can throw the ball down the field and attack you different ways. This game, I don't really think that's going to happen, though, only because of the weather and just the kind of way the game plays and the Rams play. Their defense, I have their numbers here. It's middle of the pack, literally. Total defense, 16th. Passing defense, 16th. Rushing defense, 16th. I mean, it's all 16th. And then their total scoring is 15th. So literally middle of the pack. So, again, if you can limit Aaron Donald, this defense is nothing too crazy, because it used to be pretty crazy. That Super Bowl year was pretty good defense. So we should be able to do okay on it. Just don't get super cute. Just play your game.
Play your game. That's all you got to do. Play your game.
Yeah. But, yeah, I see what you're saying. But at the same time, if we're waiting to not peak early, because that's something the Ravens have always done, 2022, they peaked around October on offense, and then it went to sleep the rest of the year. 2019, they peaked a little too early, got to the playoffs and lost. So maybe they're just saving it a little bit more, trying to work things a little bit differently than in years past. And those of you saying, oh, we don't want to do the 1 seed, we shouldn't try for the 1 seed because last time we got it in 2019, we fell flat after the bye and we were rusty. Ladies and gentlemen, you want the 1 seed. 2019 is not 2023. This is a different roster. They remember how that goes. 11 starters are still on the team from that 2019 squad. They remember how it felt. They're not going to make that same mistake again. You want that bye week. You want it for your body. You want it physically. You're going to be worn out. Okay? You've just finished 17 games in a football season. You would like one more rest to get ready for a playoff run. So all those people that say, you don't want that bye, you don't need that bye, it ruins your momentum. No. Just prepare, get the rest, and you'll be fine, I think.
Yeah,
we shouldn't shy away from the 1 seed due to history. You see what I'm saying? That's my opinion.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying.
But that's my thoughts on it. So,
it looks like we have some comments from our good old buddy Max here. Oh my goodness,
Max is a Commanders fan, so we can automatically.
Ravens first.
Oh, sorry.
Ravens first round exit without Andrews. Lamar can't win without him in the playoffs. They're gonna have to rely on Odell. No chance that playbook is opening.
Yeah, but here's another kind of argument. We lost with Mark Andrews in the playoffs, so I don't really get that point. We've lost plenty of playoff games with Mark Andrews. So that's kind of an invalid point. I mean, with him, he's not going to be there. What's the difference? This team is a lot different than Ravens years past because of the playbook on offense with Todd Monken and the versatility they have with their formations. So this is going to be interesting. Those were all Greg Roman years where it's run, pistol pass formation like this. We've got some spread like we've seen. The Ravens wide receivers never ran slants until this year. When have I ever seen them run a slant? It was the play action passes were literally 2 guys on routes and then Patrick Ricard dropping out on a check down. That's literally what that was.
Hey, man, he caught those check downs.
Am I fair, though? What do you think, Dom?
No, you're right.
The Mark Andrews thing, we've lost with Mark Andrews.
It's not – we've lost with Mark. We suffered with Mark. He's been there. Not saying he's still not a –
Hello?
There we go. Sorry, I'm still here.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Testing. Yeah, so it's not that it's not that Mark isn't still a key pivotal piece. It's just the fact that, we have a next man up mentality. And likely, before we went into the bye, was showing us that he is capable of stepping up when he needs to. Again, he finished with over 40 yards in that game, 4 catches, averaging 10 yards per catch. If we can just keep feeding him and then getting Odell more, again, we have the guys to do it. And we can't rule Mark not being available for the playoffs because he potentially could be. So not saying that if we can make a run, he could be back. And he's going to want to be back. Don't get it twisted. He's probably salivating at the moment to get back onto the field. But I agree with you. We're going to lose or win with or without him at the end of the day. Not saying that he's still a pivotal piece because, him and Lamar are like peanut butter and jelly. They say it all the time. So, we're going to win or lose without him. But like I said, we have good guys who step up and who have stepped up, and I think we'll be ready with or without him. This team is not the same, like you said. These are guys who I think they know that this year, this is it. I really honestly feel like in my heart of hearts that this is it. This can be the moment where you can chase a bowl. We can beat anybody. To be real with you, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel as though we can beat anybody.
Especially in the AFC, yeah.
Literally. Going
down to the Packers, Miami, they have yet to get that signature win over a contender. So, yeah, sky's the limit right now. You just got to go out and take it. It's out for the taking.
Take it, man.
And Jaguars losing to the Bengals, that drops them to 8-4. We'll see about Trevor Lawrence's high ankle sprain, see if he's good to go on Sunday. But yeah,
he is questionable. He's listed as questionable,
which is
Sunday.
Pretty insane. I thought he was going to be out for a few weeks, but usually high ankle sprains take about 4 weeks to heal. So if he comes out,
he was out there on the practice field throwing.
Right. So what I'm saying is, if he plays, which he could, there's a good chance. He won't be very mobile, most likely. They'll tape that ankle up a little bit, but he probably won't be able to move that much.
I wouldn't be
And
surprised if he
mobility
got
is a
that
part
third.
of his game. He can
It
take
is.
off.
He runs. He runs the ball. He rushes sometimes.
So
Like, not saying he has
I'll
to
be
play,
anxious to
but
see how the Jaguars do with a limited
they're probably not well.
Trevor Lawrence.
Probably not well. I don't even
Well,
think he
they
plays.
play Cleveland on Sunday, so I don't really know who to root for. I mean, it's kind of a win-win because we want both of these teams to lose in a
They're
way.
going to end in a tie. I'm not mad at that either.
Oh,
Which
that'd
is
be
highly
great.
unlikely. Which is highly unlikely. But I mean, I don't know if Trevor plays on Sunday. If Trevor doesn't play, obviously, I'm probably going to give it to the Browns. But it really just depends because Beathard, he did not look good when he stepped in for Trevor for Monday night.
I
So
disagree, though, Dom. He moved them down the field, got them in field goal range.
I mean, he wasn't Jake Browning in the clutch. Okay, like,
No, but they
like,
had a
you know
big
what I mean?
catch to Calvin Ridley that was called back for penalty for holding.
Actually, very
I mean, they would have won the
disrespectful.
game if they didn't get called for holding right there. So
Yeah, maybe,
that was at the 1 yard line. They were going to punch it in. The Bengals
they were
defense
gonna
is
punch
not
it
that
in,
good.
yeah.
So yeah, that's my thoughts. But anyway, let's finish our predictions for this Ravens game before we go on to the NFL. We're starting to branch out to the other matchups, which is awesome. But let's finish up this prediction. What's our final score prediction before we talk about the other matchups?
Oh, before we talk about final score, there's one more thing I wanted to bring up about
Yes.
Ravens practice this week. I don't know if you saw the report, but I heard a former Ravens special teams coach was at practice today with the special teams. I forgot which coach it was, but I think
Jerry Roseberg, please.
I think so. I think that is actually the name. I want to confirm
this
that.
is interesting.
I want to confirm that, but I think our good old buddy Jeff tweeted that today that he was at practice for the Ravens.
Yes, it was. No.
Yes.
No.
Wait.
No. Hold on. That was on August 3rd.
Let me confirm before I. Let me see.
Where? This is from August.
Let me.
Anyway, while you're talking.
Oh
about
yes,
that,
Jerry. Yes, I found it right here. The Ravens also had former special teams coordinator Jerry Rosburg out there at practice today. So he was there. He was there. Maybe to talk to special teams. I know you have been on the special teams for most of the year.
Yes.
So maybe that was a point of emphasis over the bye week.
Good.
You know, I think so. I think they're really taking that seriously going into this later stretch of the year, which was nice to see.
We need it bad.
Yeah, I agree. So I just wanted to bring up that tidbit. I didn't know if you saw it or not, but yeah, I feel like that's a key thing going into this weekend. Hopefully Tucker is coming back as his full confident self again.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Because we might ask him to kick a field goal or two in the rain tomorrow or on Sunday. So we need a good execution. Please block. Don't get any more kicks blocked. And Justin, get them high, and don't kick them low. You don't need to kick 65-yarders. You don't have to line drive it. So all they have to do is put up a paw and not get away. No. Just do your thing. Do your thing.
Good job, man.
And I love how Tucker shook off the notion that he's no longer the most accurate kicker in NFL history. He says, I don't even care about that. I just want to make the kick that I'm about to make when I'm on the field. So just lock in, tune out the outside noise, and execute, and you'll be fine on special teams. I'd love for Jerry Roseberg to stay, by the way. Feel free to just stay the rest of the year because, those of you who don't know, Jerry Roseberg was the Ravens' longtime special teams coordinator since, I don't know, years. And then he left finally, I believe, in 2020, 2021.
I think so.
One of those. But that he was in control of that very consistent special teams unit we were talking about last episode when we were just making field goals left and right, good punts. Nothing was ever really blocked that often. Tucker had his most accurate seasons under Jerry Roseberg, so we already know how he is. He's very good. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and give our final predictions for this score on Sunday? How's this game going to turn out in the rain?
You know what? I think we're going to have some me personally, I think we're going to have some offense out there. Maybe just, showing that we're still spring coming off the bye. I'm going to give us 31-17.
Ooh.
Ravens way. I think we're going to have some offense in this game. In my opinion. I know everyone might not agree because the Rams are not trash, but I think we win this one 31-17.
This game kind of scares me a little bit more because you just kind of wonder how the Ravens are going to come off on the bye. Are they going to be ready to go? Are they going to put up points on offense, or are they going to be lethargic? If you flash back to last year, they came out of the gate against Carolina Panthers, and they won that game 13-3. Their offense was terrible the whole game. I actually was in attendance at that game. It was 6-3 in the fourth quarter. 6-3, and they didn't score a touchdown until somebody recovered a fumble on the 10-yard line. So you just want to think that they can be in sync, but I just don't know if I have their full trust that they're going to come out there swinging in sync on offense. So this might be a little bit of a dogfight. And then on defense, if you don't pressure Stafford, who's only taken 1 sack in the past 3 games, you could be in for a semi-long day. And this game could go either way if a couple things don't fall the Ravens' way. And it makes me a little bit nervous because this could potentially be a trap game. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Ravens the benefit of the doubt, and I'll say they get the win 23-20. But
okay, you got a nail biter
to be a scary type of game, just because of how well the Rams are playing, and that we've seen the Ravens come out of the bye week a little bit sluggish, along with the Pittsburgh Steelers taking a loss. You just feel like I was watching a podcast earlier that was talking about how the AFC North is lining up in the Ravens' favor. And because of that, they're starting to look like they're separating themselves. And their response to that was, this is a game the Ravens lose. Any clarity in the AFC North is going to be wiped away because the Ravens are going to keep it close. Because this AFC North is always a muddled mess until December. It's never wrapped up until late in the season. So while I don't think they'll to go as far as that they will lose, this could be a scary game and could be a loss. I hope it's not, but I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about it. I'm not as sure as I was that they were going to win, like for the Chargers game, for example. This LA squad is playing much better football than their AFC counterpart. So, yeah, I'm going to say they get the win, but they really need to duke this one out to not fall victim to the trap game and coming home with an upset stunner for the Rams. We don't want that to happen. So you're in your house. It's raining. Take care of business. Play sound football. Okay? And you should be good to go. You are the better team, but that tandem, Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, if they can't get to Stafford, they could have a long day in the secondary. It's Brandon Stevens. Good luck.
All right, so we got 23-20. Gonz thinks Ravens take it 23-20. I think we take it 31-17.
Dom's confident.
I'm a little confident.
No way we're losing.
I'm a little confident. I just think that, again, they know what's at stake. I mean, not that they usually don't know, but it's just like, they know. I mean, this is their time. And they can't drop games because the Dolphins are right there.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, technically speaking, are still right there. The Jags are still right there. It's anybody's conference at this point right now. So take these wins because we need this win going into the gauntlet to end the season.
Yeah.
Because when you got Jags, Niners, Miami, and Steelers, you need the wins where you can get them. So you need to get this win on Sunday. Get this win, get some momentum going into next week against Jags, and hopefully we'll be fine. But I have faith that they know what's at stake here. They know they need to stack the wins because the game that I'm getting the most nervous about is coming up really soon.
The 49ers game.
That's the 49ers game. I'm really nervous about that one.
Day.
And they just want to ruin our Christmas. The NFL schedule maker said, you know what? How can we ruin Baltimore's Christmas? Oh, yeah, let's make them go against the Niners on Monday night.
Hey, you know what might make it better if the AFC North continues to lose and we're able to take care of business in the next 2 games, we could find ourselves AFC North champions by Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, by Christmas.
That would be nice. That would
See,
be nice.
if Steelers drop another game and the Browns drop another game and we win these 2, we could, they can't catch us. Because then by then there'd only be 3 games left. So, maybe that'll be some extra fuel. I just hope they don't come out sluggish. That's my biggest concern. Because these Rams are playing good ball on offense. That's what scares me a little bit. And the pass protection. How is that going to hold up? I'm not super worried about Mark Andrews being out. I think Lamar will be able to spread the ball around if he has the time. So, protect him, please, Ronnie Stanley. Protect him, please, Morgan Moses. Protect him, please, Tyler Linderbaum.
Another tidbit about Stanley. He hasn't. Let me make sure I'm not missing. But he hasn't missed a day of practice this week.
Right, he's not on the injury report at all.
In fact, he even came in on his off day to get some work in because he was supposed to be off today for his vet day that he usually gets, but he came in anyway just to get some extra work in. So I think he's also taking that. Like a lot of guys are coming back locked in and ready to work, which has been good to see this week. Like the guys, they're putting in extra time. They're getting in outside personnel such as Jerry Rosberg to get back in there, maybe, say a few couple things, motivation to get the special teams back going. I mean, I think they're really taking this seriously, and it's good to see that they're taking those necessary steps to take these things seriously because 4 or 5 games left in the season, we got to be locked in. We can only really afford maybe 1 or 2 more losses out of the next 5 games. Maybe 1 or 2.
Let me ask you this while you're talking about Stanley. Do you think the ankle injuries and then the knee injury he's sustained could possibly derail his career? Do you think that it's because his fundamentals are not what they used to be? That repaired ankle and that knee that he's got in the Browns game, he can't plant his foot, and that's another reason why he's just getting blown by on some of these plays, and that's concerning. So I'm not. We could have this conversation if he struggles again, but there's a possibility. There's a deeper possibility here. Something underlying meaning going on with these injuries that he's been sustaining over the years. But I don't know. What do you can go ahead and answer that if you want, or we could wait till next week if he has another bad game. But I'm hoping he gets some sort of his technique back. But it's clear he is not himself or wasn't himself before the bye. So
yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like he knows that too, that he hasn't been himself over the course of these past couple of weeks. I mean, with the ankle injury, we gotta look at who he has to defend, even just in the division. We already got two teams with insane pass rushing duos that he has to guard twice a year. Well, technically speaking, he 4 times he has to go against 2 insane duos pass rushing, and it's hard to move when your ankle has already been degraded into the injuries he sustained. So I'm gonna refrain until this Sunday because he's been putting in that extra work this week. I'm gonna refrain from any more criticism until I see him perform. But I can't. You're right. It's just he has to play better, and until he can show us that he can stay. Because he's not getting any younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm gonna leave it up to the fact that he's gonna get back to himself. He's gonna get into shape, healthier. Before the playoffs kick in, because we're gonna need him. He's still a key pivotal piece. He's still the leader on this offensive line. So we're gonna need him to step in and step up as quickly as he can. I hope he took this week to get healthier, to relax, take care of his body, and hopefully with the extra work this week, he'll be fine. But I'm going to refrain from any more criticism until we get post-game after Rams, then I'll save that for them, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Hope we come away with the dub. That would be really good. Jump to 10-3. That would be great, but we have a tall task ahead of us on Sunday, and I hope we show up prepared. We've had 2 weeks to do it, so let's go get it. We're healthy. We're pretty healthy.
We are healthy.
So let's
healthy. We're
go
coming off the bye. We should be rested. 31-17, I think, 23-20. Gonz thinks. What do you guys think? How's this game going to end? Ravens taking this, or are they losing in a nail biter? We'll find out Sunday afternoon. Gonz, you got any thoughts before we get up out of here?
Nope. And we just got to cheer. I got one. Cheer for the Jags. Well, that matchup's tough. It's a win-win. Jags lose, that helps us to the 1 seed. Browns lose, that helps us in the division. And then the Bengals, who are they up against? The Colts on Sunday. The Colts.
Yes, Colts.
So that's an interesting matchup too. So Gardner Minshew, be nice to go ahead and just knock them out for sure. Make sure they don't get any little false hope after that Jacob Browning monster Monday Night Football game. So we'll just go ahead and just knock them out if you don't mind, please. But the biggest game of the week was the Steelers losing. That was great. So if those you know what? No Trevor, and we get a shot at them. Let's knock the Browns out. Let's try to get AFC North champions as soon as possible, just so we can secure a home playoff game in the bag. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, fun times in Baltimore this weekend. Big matchups around the NFL. I can't wait for Week 14. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a good one. I'm hoping we are coming back to you guys for post-game on a high note.
I'm going to that game too, by the way. So I better pack my poncho for the rain because it's going to be 65 degrees, so it's going to be nice and warm.
Yeah, it's not going to be cold.
Rainy.
Yeah, it's just going to be rainy. So hopefully you'll be able to refrain. Make sure the poncho is extra tight. Okay? Because you don't want to make sure the poncho is extra tight. But, yes, let us know you guys' thoughts on this game. How are the Ravens going to do it? How are your teams doing? Are your teams succeeding? Are you guys a playoff team? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. We will catch you guys post-game, hopefully in good mood, going into next week. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We will catch you guys next week, hopefully for a Ravens dub. Signing off.
Let's go Ravens.